So greetings to you folks. Greetings to you. Welcome to Uncensored Guyana. I am Dr. Prasad. These are serious times. Serious times not just in Guyana, but around the world. So there's no time for monkeying around. There's no time for comics or comedian, because when it comes to your country, you are dealing with people's livelihood, you are dealing with people's future, you're dealing with people's investment, all of that you're dealing with. And the problems that exist within Guyana are real problems. Real problems. So there's no time for politicking or drama or bullshit. I'm not here to make jokes. I'm not here to entertain. And I'm not here to play partisan politics or to ignore any issue that is relevant and necessary towards the moral, social, economic stability and fabric that keeps Guyana together. Anything that disturbs me, I will talk about. I represent a certain demographic. I represent a certain constituents within Guyana and abroad, and I would speak to their needs. I'm not here as a mouthpiece for any president, namely President Ali. I'm not here as a mouthpiece for anyone. If something needs to be said, I'll say it. That's it. Now, let me start by saying this. Any initiative that is geared to enhancing, improving, and helping to bring Guyana to a status of admiration, to a position where Guyana can be spoken of not in the terms that they usually would be spoken of, as in corruption, crime, violence, criminals. No. If Guyana can trend towards a position of peace and beauty and infrastructure, then I'm with that. The issue with the Stabroek market is a landmark. Stabroek Square is a landmark for Guyana. It's a beacon. It's what is easily recognizable. If you are somewhere, some part of the world, and you need to find Guyana, you just have to put Stabroek Market in your GPS, and Google or the GPS system will bring you from Europe to wherever, following the icon of the Stabroek Market. And you find Guyana. That's the only thing that stands out. So yes, that area should have special attention. It should always be a place of pride. That area, Stabroek Market. So I support the initiative of the government to clean the place, to clear all those hooligans disguised as vendors. Clear them out. The reason why the market is structured in such a way that people go inside. You pay for a stall, you pay for a portion in the market. Outside the market is not a place to vend. It wasn't constructed for that purpose. People took advantage of it. Politicians turned their eyes, the governments turned their backs, and it became uncontrollable. Now people think they have a right to squat there. You can't touch them, you can't move them. That was not the intent. When the Dutch, or when back in the day, when the idea came up for that market, on the plan, nothing about vending and disturbances or just anybody for anything. That was not a part of the blueprint. It was a well-constructed, well-drawn-out plan to have that market as an icon for the city. But because politicians like to suck up, they will turn their backs on anything that is demoralizing, degrading, and nasty only because they need to secure votes. They would stand with the devil. Politicians would stand with the devil if it means they'll get some votes. That's what I hate about politicians, especially Guyanese politicians. They have no standards, no standards whatsoever. Their morals are out the door. Look at the mess. And the PNC is coming with special press conferences to deliberate over the market issue when their president, Granger, dismantled over 130 illegal vendors around the market square. Granger did it. He bulldozed them out of there, and his words were, and I quote, they're coming there to vend under the disguise of vend, but they're doing all kinds of illegal businesses there, harboring criminals. That's what Granger said. And he's black. He's PNC. He got rid of them. Why didn't they fight him? Why didn't they come out and massively protest and stop Granger? They didn't, because what? He's black, and if a black man does it against the black people, it's okay. Now, the Ali government, under the main city council, is doing far less damage than what Granger did. Granger just cleaned them out and left it like that. No, the government now is enhancing the place, improving the place, making it lookable, improving security, improving the value of the market there. And they're met with resistance from these hypocrite PNC people, and that huge criminal mastermind, Azruddin Mohammed, trying to let people think that this is against the blacks. Clean the bloody place out. Let them go in the market and vend. If they can't find space there, let them go find space at another market. But they should not be on the road, blocking the traffic, blocking pedestrians, and harboring all of these criminals that are coming there, pretending to vend, pretending to sell, just to spy on people, to see what they have, and then tell their friends, hey, that person has a lot of money, you can target them. Beautify the Starbucks Square, man. You will always find resistance from black people, always. You can't look at that and keep compromising. For when? For when I'm president, then I'll do it, I'll fix it. This is your chance, President Ali. You are an infrastructure president, you are a beauty president, then do your thing. Do your thing. PNC will complain anyway. They're worst. So moving on from that, and being on the PNC note, where did Norton surface from? Norton, Aubrey Norton. You were a lowlife under the PNC. The Granger was president and wanted nothing to do with you. All the atrocities you're talking about with the hinterland, the mining companies, it was worst under Granger. It was worst under the PNC. Most of those illegal operations happened under the PNC. The PNC had no particular system when it comes to labor force or labor laws. The PNC ran a slave government. They're the ones who empowered the Chinese to do what they're doing. It was the PNC. So you're coming now and pointing fingers as if the Ali government is encouraging slavery and encouraging modern day. No, it's the PNC. Ali is cleaning it up. And he's been met with a lot of resistance from black people like you, Norton, who enjoy illegal governments, illegal and corrupt politicians. They enjoy that. So shut the fuck up, Norton, and go back into your retirement. All right? Join Adam Harris. I didn't even know Adam Harris is still relevant. Adam Harris, imagine that. Is he still relevant? These guys don't know when to retire, do they? Let Glenn Lal put you as his head of security. Because Steve said the criminals tend to respect older security guards more than the younger ones. They have this kind of sentiment towards all the security guards. So let Glenn Lal appoint you, Adam Harris, as the head of security for Kaitra News. Because as a journalist, you're fucked. Those days are over. Say bye-bye to the profession. I just retire like Norton quietly. All you people are known for is pushing racism, pushing propaganda, pushing fake news. Go join WIN. Oh yeah, you're already there. So folks, I want to thank the Guyanese people. The Guyanese people who understood my message and understood that they are doing injustice to the country if they stand in solidarity with a criminal enterprise, and betray their country, violate their own constitution by joining the WIN's protest. I want to thank you, the Guyanese people, for staying in your homes, for not responding to the Mohammed's call. I want to thank you. People resisted. People, Guyanese, resisted. This time, not long time, people got to understand that Mohammed is a criminal. They were blinded during the elections. They were blinded because what? A lot of the things on him was not reported because their trusted agencies like Gordon Mosley and all these places covered the crimes of the Mohammed. But thank God for people like me that continued on my talking point, continue on my topic, to educate the Guyanese, to let them understand that it is unfair if they should stand with the Mohammeds. It's unfair to good governance, unfair to national security, unfair to the progress of that country if Guyanese came out and stand with the Mohammeds. I want to thank you again for making the right decision to stay away. Your life matters. Those few thugs and scrapes that accepted the money and went out and pretend like they're protesting, they don't count. They don't count. Maybe 50 people. At least the Mohammed saved some money today. They saved some money because they did not get applicants to apply for their 5,000 to go out and protest. So they saved some money. The people who went out are the usual culprits who went and blocked the GRA from seizing the vehicles, the ones who went and stand by the courts when they were arrested. Those are the usual suspects. They're on the pay list. So when the Mohammeds call them out, they don't have a choice. They have to come out and pretend like they stand with them. So Guyanese, bravo, thumbs up to you. You made the right decision. That man don't deserve your sacrifice. He never will deserve your sacrifice. Listen to the things he keeps saying. The whole world stands behind the legitimate president who was legally elected, constitutionally elected, free and fair elections, the first time in the history of Guyana. The whole world endorses and stands with President Ali because he was elected by virtue of a national elections conducted on the 1st of September 2025. There was no opposition to that. There was no recounts. Forget about the scam recount that they had. That's just bullshit. It was declared free and fair by 50,000 votes plus. The PPP secured a second victory. President Ali secured a second term. That is done. That is in the history books. You have this little dunderhead, spoiled, corrupt billionaire who wouldn't get the message. I mean, he can't read, because I would say he didn't get the memo. But for you to get the memo, you have to be somebody who is literate. He is not literate. So he's stuck on stupid. Azruddin Mohammed is stuck on stupid. We're in November. He has more serious issues to worry about. And he continues to peddle and then to say, I'm not going to stop saying it, but I am the president. The people voted for me. The PPP rigged the election. Azruddin, shut the fuck up. For heaven's sake, shut the fuck up, man. There was no contest there. If there is any rigging that took place, you and the PNC has to fight over that because you rigged their constituents. You stole the elections from PNC, Azruddin. This fight is between you and Aubrey Norton. Ali won clear, free and clear by a large. The country is governed. The governance of the country has continued. You are stuck on this stupid statement, which is dangerous. It is dangerous because based on that statement, you keep repeating the vulnerable portion of the Guyanese society that you are getting to pay to stand and run behind you and your stupid protests. They believe that. They believe that you are president. They believe that you won the elections. There's no data to say that. There's no evidence. So when you are all holding on this claim as a so-called opposition leader, there should be some legal recourse to that. The Guyana Elections Commission should bring charges against you for spreading fake news. That's a cyber crime. That's a cyber crime you keep committing, Mohammed. In case you don't know, let them dumbass lawyers tell you. Making that claim and then claiming you have evidence, continuing to bring that claim that you have evidence that the elections was rigged and that you are the president. It's a cyber crime. You can stir up terrorism, unrest based on those statements, but nobody's challenging you to that. This is why I said that this fool, this attorney general, is a loser. It's a loser. This is not where somebody is not in a part of the system. This man is supposed to be the opposition leader. And he's pushing this narrative even after everything is done, sealed and stamped. Every opportunity he gets, he's coming on camera and talking about the elections was rigged against him. And he is the legitimate president. Then you are undermining, you are spreading conspiracy theories to undermine the legitimacy of President Ali, and that is dangerous. You are seducing the vulnerable citizens to act against and not to recognize the legally elected president. That is dangerous because they could do whatever they want and justify he's not my president. The same way all the Americans don't recognize Maduro as president, they can go take him. The same narrative plays out. The same narrative plays out. It's a dangerous thing this man is doing. He continues to do this. And if you don't stop him, it is easy for him to call for protest. And while he's calling for protest, he can get his people to engage in all kinds of public chaos and terrorism. Why? Because they think they're fighting for a good cause. And that good cause, according to Mohammed, is to get him sworn in, not as opposition leader, but as the legitimate president. That's what the man is doing. Can't we all acknowledge that that is what the Mohammeds are doing? They are pushing for public unrest. They are pushing for a scenario to have a possible coup so they can replace Ali with him. All because he don't want to go to federal prison. all because he don't want to go to jail. Who gives a shit? Go and do your crime. It was nice when you were able to rob and steal and be involved in all these corrupt practices. It was nice. You enjoy the sweet. Now the bitter, you want to bring the country down because you don't want to face the bitter. You must be prepared for the consequences to your actions. Your father should have told you. But since you were blinded by blood money, you want to use black people to get killed for you. But the black people, they woke up. They're not asleep anymore. They woke up and they understood. The PNC was and is bad for Afro-Guyanese. They made a mistake and they stood behind Azruddin Mohammed, yes, because of sympathy. Sympathy. They believed that the government was after you. They believed it. But when they realized that this has nothing to do with Ali or the government, this is your crimes against the Americans, and it's your and them, the blacks who supported you, Azruddin, they're regretting it. They have regretted it. This is why you can't get them to do shit for you. It's easy for them to comment on your stupid post. It's easy for them to share some nonsense. You got a few hundred shares. It's easy. That's nothing. It's nothing. You're using this Odessa Primos woman. She should join you on the expedition for extradition. Take them with you. But it's easy for blacks to like make a little comment. But for you to get them to physically go out and put their lives in danger for you, it ain't gonna happen. You see the embarrassment you faced today? You saw the embarrassment. Exactly. It will get worse because I'm going to continue to educate and call upon the blacks, the decent, law-abiding blacks, to stand with governance that stands with truth and justice and law and God, and forget about the criminal enterprises, PNC and WIN. I want to ask you something. Most of the people who have retained stalls within the Stabroek market, most of them are your relatives. Some of you even have stalls there. Is it fair for you to be paying your taxes for your piece of stall that you have? You're paying your taxes. You have to maintain your stall. You invest in your goods. And you are there while they have these illegal vendors, these squatters, these rogue vendors that are selling the same products you're selling in front of the market, blocking the passageway from actual shoppers to go in the market to see what's there. Is it fair that all the customers that should be coming into the market, they are stopped on the road and seduced and coerced into buying the same products, most of the times at a higher price, while starving the actual legal vendors within the market? It's not fair. This is why I support the initiative. It's like you have your store, you have your taxes, your rent, all that you have to pay for your store. But there are people who are vending in front of your store, selling the same products you're selling. You can't get customers because the customers are stopped right at your front door to buy from the people that are in front of your premise illegally. And when you report them, you hear it's racism. Oh, they invest money in their products. Nobody gave them a legal right to vend illegally on the road. They took the risk to do that, and the consequence to that risk is that the government will remove them. The people who occupy the market have a right to have the shoppers go in the market where they are more secure. In the market. So remove all the vendors from everywhere and let them apply like everybody else to get a space in the market, and they can sell there. You have to have system, you have to have an order, you have to have a structure. Same they were doing there with Demico. You can't walk on the street. They took the whole place up and it stink, it's nasty. So they had to remove them. And all the mayor and city council and all these people, they are always slow to act because of two things: because they are fearful of the blacks and because they want votes. They want the blacks to vote for them and they are afraid of the blacks. That shit has to stop. You have to be a government with balls. The country has a structure. There are laws, there are regulations. Enact them. Apply them. If you keep turning your back, you keep ignoring it, you keep compromising, then before you know it, the whole place would be a ghetto. Because one pigeon makes a nest and realizes that nobody's disturbing it, it will call the others. Before you know it, it's impossible to get rid of them. When you spray them out, what they'll say? Human rights. Always put your feet in the shoes of the people who follow the law. Those people who follow the law, it's not fair that they're following the law. They have to pay their fair share, but they can't enjoy the sweet of their investment. Other illegal people are coming and doing all kinds of illegal business, and they're getting that sweet. The same way like the Mohammeds. Every government employee, every employee has to pay their taxes. They don't have a choice. It is deducted from their salary. All the businesses have to pay their taxes. If you want to bring a vehicle, you have to pay your taxes. And you can't afford it. So you tell me how it is, how is it correct, how is it right? That you have a lot of people, not just the Mohammeds, there are lots of other people, rich people who can afford it, are corrupting the system just because they want to import luxury vehicles. They want to do all these things without paying their due. They're paying a small percentage to these low-life agents at the customs and all these places, bribing them, while at the same time they're saving millions when it should be going into the treasury. Because when they don't pay their taxes, when they don't pay their due, when they don't compensate the consequences for their work in the ground and using the mining industry, when they don't pay their fair share, and the treasury is robbed of that income, the country has to roll, the country has to be turned over. How do you think these other expenses are met? By loans. This is why the government has to continue to secure loans from the IMF and all these other institutions, because of people like Azruddin Mohammed and all these other these tax fraudsters who don't want to pay their fair share. When the hole is made, you got to find the money from somewhere. Now we have the issue with the oil. Globally, the oil prices has dropped. The oil prices dropped globally, which means even if Guyana is drilling or producing 1 million barrels per day, how is that significant compared to the drop in the oil prices? It's not significant because the price has dropped. So you have a less income now coming in from the oil. And from the other sectors, you have people who don't pay their taxes, people who are smuggling gold, smuggling all the resources. So less income is coming in to the treasury. But yet, the expenditure continues to be high. Your income has reduced, but your expenses continue to climb. The government is busy now with the budget for 2026, and I am This is one lotto I can play. I can play the lotto that the budget for 2026 will be over 2 trillion. Over 2 trillion. I can play that lotto just like that. Over 2 trillion. Nothing significant has happened in the past year, but the budget will increase by 1 trillion. Income has dropped, all revenues has dropped, but yet the budget is going to increase by 1 trillion. Where does that put Guyana? More loans to service the budget. More loans to make up for the difference. And that loans is going to pile on to the loans that was taken last year and the year before. So the 7 billion that Anil Nandalal's ministry got 2024, 2025, next year they might get 10 billion. For what? Every year, the income decreases, but the budget increases. And you wonder why poverty persists in the country. You wonder why. Inflation, prices can't go down. Because you keep taking loans. You should reflect, your budget should reflect the capacity of your income. Don't bite more than you can chew. Isn't that what we tell our folks? Don't hang your hat where your hand can't reach it. Isn't that what we say? But yet the government is making 1 million, but wants to have a budget for 20 million. Your income is 1 million, but your budget is 20 million. So you have to borrow 20 million. But yet you have to justify your income and all the excuses as to why you need this, why you need that, why you need this. If you cut spending for a year, you think Guyanese wouldn't eat? You didn't reduce the government, you expand the government. You make the government larger. All these minister and junior minister, and every ministry has to get this massive budget. All these actors in the government. That's why your budget has to be so big every year, because you're making the government bigger and bigger for a small population. Why don't you invest in the police force or the army? Give them a big budget so they can hire more people. Invest in the teaching service. Invest in the medical sector. Give them a bigger budget so they can hire people. Bring Guyanese back to work. Bring them from wherever they are. Pay them double salaries. That's where your budget should go. Not on more roads or more bridges, more infrastructure. Invest in your human capital. Because at the end of the day, the roads ain't gonna suffer. Your people will suffer. Your people will suffer at the end of the day. We don't want to hear some micro investment in human resources, but all these massive investment going into building this and building that, building this and building that. And your income incoming, you're not getting your income, but you expand your infrastructure. These politicians traveled to different parts of the world. They see how these systems work. They see how countries fall because of unedited spending, uncontrollable spending. They see, but yet they think it can't happen to them. Because of course, it can't happen to them. They are enriching themselves and their families. It's the country that suffers. When they are out of office, the next one comes, he does the same. Now, I want to digress to a point that concerns me. Listen, folks. I'm a conservative. At least you should know that by now. I'm a conservative. I'm not religious, I'm conservative. I stand with what's normal, what's right, and what's nature. I stand with that. I am of no concern about people's personal sentiments when it comes to national issue. During the elections, I criticized the woke people in the PNC. I criticized the Mahi Pauls. I criticized all these people. I criticized some folks from the Win Party who, in my opinion, were practicing homosexuals. I criticized them. Why should I give PPP people a pass? Why should I give PPP people a pass when I criticize everybody else? This in politics for me. I stand with the president of China. I stand with the president of Israel, prime minister. I stand with President Trump. I stand with Putin. I stand with these leaders. Why? Because they stand for what's natural and what's normal. They don't have a Democrat mentality of wokeness. They don't compromise. Donald Trump won the elections in America because he is against LBT stuff. He's against it. His entire team, his entire MAGA movement is against it. That's why he won. The Democrats lost because the Democrats are largely black people who support that kind of lifestyle. They support homos, they support lesbians. The Democrats, they support that. That's why they were pushing it globally. They were pushing it in every country because they wanted this thing to become a normal thing. And I'm thanking the Lord for Trump. Because if Trump didn't win, I would not have been able to speak this. I was banned on Facebook, banned on many platforms because of my opposition to LBTG stuff. Banned during the Biden administration, banned also during the Obama administration. I am surviving because of Donald Trump. And you think by some strange occurrence, I'm going to support President Ali's decision to put a lesbian in his cabinet? Why would I do that? Why would I do that? I criticize everybody. Why should I support a lesbian in Ali's cabinet? Why? That's the least I would expect from President Ali. He's more religious than Donald Trump. He's more conservative than Donald Trump. But yet you won't find that shit in Trump's cabinet. Trump fired a lot of them. Trump put a man in charge of the military, Pete Hegseth, to get rid of that shit, to clean the military from that stuff. He put people in ministries in America in his cabinet to clean the government from the likes of those kinds of people. Trump did it. The Chinese cabinet, the Russian, you look around the world to the countries that are prominent and progressive. They don't have that issue to deal with because they don't support it. Why the fuck should I stand with President Ali with a lesbian in his cabinet, even a homosexual? I won't do that. I ain't a fucking hypocrite. I am not a fucking hypocrite. If I'm against it in the PNC, I'm against it anywhere, regardless of the party. I hate this kind of compromise in politics. I hate it. What do you stand for, man? What's your identity? What's your principle? What is your core principle? The president is a Muslim. Two religions. That don't compromise when it comes to abnormal abominations. Two religions, Islam and Hinduism. The other one is Judaism, Buddhism. The religion that seem to compromise with these devil practices are Christianity, not catechism, Christianity. Modern day Christians, like the Pentecostals and those, they support that kind of lifestyle. So how can a president who's supposed to be a practicing Muslim, raised as a Muslim, support lesbianism? How? Tell me how this lesbian attracted votes for Ali. This Caroline woman, how did she attract votes? You mean Guyanese voted for PPP because of her? How much lesbians are there in Guyana that will vote for the PPP because of her? I would not support something like that. I'm against it. And my trust is betrayed. If the president knowingly appointed a practicing lesbian into his cabinet, that's an abomination. It defiles the tenets of moral and what's right. I heard a lot of shit about Vice President Jaglio. I heard a lot of shit. I never pushed it because I know it's not true. I know it's not true. The man has a wife and family. He was married before. There is no definitive evidence anywhere of the claims people are speculating about Jaglio. They always did it because they target the man because of hatred. I also heard shit about Ali, but there's no evidence. But what is confirmed is this woman, Rodriguez, who is a practicing lesbian. That's confirmed. And if the president knows that and yet included her in his former cabinet and the current cabinet, I have to rethink my position. I'm not going to back a system like that. It's immoral. Immoral. I have one fact I usually state. If my father was on the other side, he wouldn't meet my mother, they wouldn't have sex, I wouldn't be conceived. Okay? If my mother was that nasty, she wouldn't meet my father, she wouldn't be interested in men. Therefore, she would never conceive or get pregnant, and I would not be born. So how the fuck, as a grown man that understands the human structure, how can I support two women fucking, I mean, how? You're destroying humanity. It's a curse and a crime against humanity when these two women walk around, or women walk around thinking they could be man and woman. You're bothered about Bill Gates. A lot of you are worried about Bill Gates wanting to reduce the human population. No, he's busy trying to get medicine to extend people's lives. He's investing in drugs to make people live longer, to make them produce more babies. That's what he's doing. He is not your problem. Your problem is a system or a government who are promoting homosexuality. That's the threat to humanity. That's the threat to the human population declining. That is the threat. Because two men can't make babies. Two women can't make babies. That is your biggest threat. So if the government is going to highlight and support that lifestyle, what influence are you going to have over the young girls? To think it's cool for them to grow up wanting to be a lesbian because the minister is a lesbian? What happened to their parents who wants grandchildren? You're going to adopt somebody's kids who actually likes men and take their kids and want to raise it when you are too inhuman to go sleep with a man to get pregnant? I will never. Let me make this clear. As a man, I love women. I worship the vagina. I will never support anything that is lesbian. I'm saying it on this platform. Never. If I ever get into government, there will be no lesbians or gays in my cabinet. I would not hire them. I will not associate my government around them. It will never happen. I stand for straight. I stand for God. I stand for truth. And I stand for right. And all you people who want to say that I shouldn't be saying this, fuck you. That's one. And secondly, you are a hypocrite yourself. You are a hypocrite yourself, because show me anywhere in your Christian Bible. Forget the churches who compromise because of money. Forget them. Show me in the Christian Bible, if you are a Christian, where it supports this kind of lifestyle. Show me. It talks about it being of the devil. Show me in the Gita, the Quran, the Torah, or any of the religious books to which you base your religious identity on. Show me in any of those books where it says God recognizes lesbians and gays. Show me. You can't. So if you, for some twisted reason, is supporting that, keep it to yourself. But don't judge the rest of us who publicly speak out against it, because it's wrong. It is wrong, and it has no place in politics, because politics influence people's lives. You don't want that kind of politics to influence your life. It is wrong. There are too many straight people in the PPP. Too many women who likes dicks, who likes men who likes women, who likes vagina. There are too many overqualified. If you can't find them in Guyana, there's a lot in America, a lot in Canada, all over the world they are. Just call them, they'll come. Than for you to look away from those straight God and law-abiding people to put these fucking low-life lesbians in your fucking cabinet. I'm against it. That's it. You don't like it, that's your problem. All right? Yeah, the ERC should say something about that. When the ERC or whoever wants to challenge me on what I said, come with your Bible. And since I endorse Hinduism, bring some text from the Hindu text and convict me with that. Don't come with no stupid man-made concoct fucking law about some, oh, recognize this. I don't have to. I don't have to. Don't make me call Trump. Don't make me call Trump. Even Venezuela, even the communist Venezuela, don't support that shit. Even them. Thanks for watching. Again, thank you to the Guyanese who did not compromise and went out and support the twisted agenda of this lunatic, Azruddin Mohammed. Let him go face his time. And please, Mansour Nadir, thank you, sir. Do not convene the parliament for that nonsense. Protect the constitution, protect the people, and make sure that Azruddin Mohammed never, never see his role as opposition leader. Never. Until next time. Goodbye for now.